All right, let's try number 4. Number 4 is kind of a long one, but once you break it down, you're going to realize it's not as bad as it looks. Let's suppose that the sine of A is 4 over 5, the sine of B is 5 over 13. And this means that angle A lives between 0 and pi over 2, and angle B lives between pi over 2 and pi. Think about what quadrant that means. What quadrant do you live in if you're between 0 and pi over 2? What quadrant do you live in if you're between pi over 2 and pi? They want us to find the cosine of A plus B. There's an overall theme here with any of these problems, ladies and gents. If you don't know where to start, always start with the formula and just write it out and see what you can do. So I'm going to always start with the formula. They're asking for the cosine of A plus B. Let's write it out. See where that helps us. Okay, the cosine of A plus B is, from our formula knowledge, this is the cos. Cos A, cos B, cosine changes, minus sine A, sine B. Okay, now it's going to see, is there any of these that we know? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces here. Are there anything that I know? Let's see, cos A, cos B, minus sine A, sine B. I'm going to go back to the original. Is there anything I know? Well, they say that the sine of A is 4 over 5, so I can put that in for sine of A. Here we go. And I know that the sine of B is 5 over 13, so I'll put that over here for the sine of B. Cool. Okay, the problem is I don't know the cosine of A or the cosine of B. But because they tell us where A and B angles live, we can use triangles. So plug in what you know, use the formula, and whatever you don't know, let's draw triangles and figure out. Now remember, where do these angles live? Angle A is between 0 and pi over 2. If you live between 0 and pi over 2, you must be in this quadrant. So let's draw a triangle. Doesn't matter where it is, as long as it's just somewhere in quadrant 1. Okay, here is angle A. There's triangle A. But it told us in the intro here that the sine of A is 4 over 5. Can we use that? If that's the sine, where does the 4 go and where does the 5 go? Sine is SOHCAHTOA, right? So that means the sine should be opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite side is a 4 and the hypotenuse is a 5. Do you remember this kind of triangle? It's a 3. 3, 4, 5. And it's positive because everything in this quadrant is positive. You know, while we're at it, why don't we do the other angle? This one said that angle B lives between pi over 2 and pi. And again, if you live between pi over 2 and pi, that means you must be in quadrant 2. So let's draw a triangle over there. Okay, this is triangle B with angle B there. And again, use the given. The given said that the sine of B is 5 over 13. Remember, sine is opposite. Opposite is 5. Hypotenuse is 13. Do Pythagorean here. If you know this one, this is another famous one. But if you don't know it, you can use the calculator or do Pythagorean. But this would basically be 12. This is a 5, 12, 13. But it's going to the left. So he's a negative 12. Careful of that. All right, I think we have everything we need to know here, folks. Let's go on. The cos of A. Let's go to this triangle. Here's where A is. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, 3 over 5. That triangle's helped us out a lot. I need the cos of B, so go over here to B. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. That's negative 12 over 13. Great. Now the rest is just all fractions. Here we go. Let's multiply across. I get negative 36 over 65 minus 20 over 65. If you do it right, a lot of times the common denominator is already set for you and is here. So I have negative 36 minus 20 is negative 56 over 65. Strange answers, but you know, pre-calc, right? So there you go. What we did is, when in doubt, start with the formula. We're looking for cos of A plus B. Write out the formula completely. Don't plug anything in yet because we don't know anything. And do we actually know what angle A and B are? No. Did it matter? Heck no. It's okay. So just plug in the sides and the cosines and sines once you know. Whatever you don't know, just draw triangles to help you out. And then we do all math. Good job. Let's do one more.